Hi everyone, this is a continuing lesson off of lesson 91. It's part 4 and we are just finishing it. We're focusing on the really difficult verbs, and lie or lay is this section. Now, I'm keeping us in simple tense. It's very important that you're understanding that this is simple tense, because in your past, in your participles, things change. So you need to understand the definition of these words in simple tense, because things will change, and I'm not going to talk about that, the change of that yet. So you're understanding this. This is simple present tense. These verbs are. Now, the word lie means remain, rest horizontal. Now, if you have a hard time with horizontal and vertical, horizontal is like the horizon. So if you think about the horizon where the sun lifts and is sitting on the horizon, then it's like this, it's flat. Okay? Vertical is straight up and down. Now, it's also a direction. So you need to remember, when it's sitting in the simple present tense, you need to understand the actual definition, and this should be studied. Lay, on the other hand, when it's sitting in the simple present tense, it means a burden into contact with, a burden into contact with somebody. It's causing accusation. You're causing a burden to be on something. You lay burdens on their shoulders when you act like that. Well, that's why it's confusing. These two words are very, very confusing. So lay is the past tense. We're not going to go into that. That's why it's so confusing. It ends up in the past tense. That's why you need to understand what the present tense of lay is when it's in the simple present tense. You need to understand that you are laying burdens on people when you act like that. That's how you use that word. And you can use them in lots and lots of different sentences. Now, these two words right here is so confusing. These two words cause lots of challenges. These two words cause lots of questionings. These two words are an annoyance because they get very confusing. So study this, you guys. Get these down right here as the definition. So simple present, that's where we're at, right? Simple present. Boys, you understand that? What's the definition of lie in simple present? Remain, rest horizontal, and direction. What is the simple present tense of lay? Burden, in contact, an accusation. What is the simple present tense definition of lay? Say it again. Burden, into contact, an accusation. So important that you get that. What is it? Say it again. Lay means burden, into contact, accusations. Now, I shortened the definitions. There's big old long definitions out there, but I don't think we need to have all of that. Most of the main things that I want you to understand, that lay, when it's in the simple present tense, you're causing a burden. One of the main things that you can do to help you use these words correctly when you're putting them in the simple present tense, is it doing something to a noun that is following it? Lie is an intransitive verb. So intransitive means that it doesn't take a direct object, right? So you just need to remember that. Is it doing something to a noun that's following it? Am I using this word correctly? Now also you need to know, do not lie to me. That lie is a different definition. It means you're telling a fib. It means you're not being truthful.
You're telling a false thing.
Yeah, so you need to be careful with this kind of lie and this kind of lie. But either way, this lie is an intransitive verb that does not take a direct object. Now let's look at these example sentences. She places the ties on the ironing board where they lie ready to be pressed, which I pressed them yesterday. So right here we have lie, Do we have a direct object in there?
No.
They lie ready. Ready is an adverb. Okay? So lie, to be pressed is describing lie. This is an infinitive. Lie is an intransitive verb, so it does not take a direct object. That's why we have an adverb here. Adverb is the one that's modifying lie, not your direct object. So lie is not transferring any action to any word here. You're using other words. Okay, so you know what's kind of fun? So let's put places. So we have places. So a lot of people just use different words. But let's use, are we going to use sit or sets? She sits or sets the ties on. Okay, so Paul says sets. What do you say?
Sets.
Sets is correct. Now remember your S right here because it is in third person singular present tense. And it's in simple present. So, she sets the ties on the ironing board where they lie ready to be pressed. Egypt lies south of Mozambique. Lies is a direction. So that's how you would use it that way. For us to understand this, for this reason, we need to understand lie is an intransitive verb. Lay is a transitive verb. Lie is an intransitive verb. That means it doesn't take a direct object. Lay is a transitive verb. It requires the direct object. It is being used to understand that. Now, I think that a lot of our English, we don't use and understand our language properly. It's not taught properly. And so, nor do English speakers enjoy English beyond what they can get by with. And I think a lot of this happens because we have technology. And I really think a lot of it kind of ended with the telephone and then it just boomed from there. I think our love story with the English language kind of was started to die off in my parents' generation. My dad wrote and loved to write letters. And my grandfather was an English teacher. He loved the English language. We don't write letters like we used to. And so it's dying off a little bit. We use our phones to talk into, but I think it's very sad. So let's help one another and teach. Be excited about it, you guys. Be excited about learning. No matter what, if you're not learning this, there's going to be a fear that happens when you get out into the real world. Does the fear go away when you are uneducated? Nope. No, it does not go away. But look what happens. Fear is eradicated when you have an education. So I think the very most important topics that you need to really study when you're young is your grammar, your English. I'm talking about your grammar and writing and English, but you also need math. Those are your two main things. If you have those two things, you can go into any field and then get an education into the field that you really need and what you are passionate about. So don't have fear, get an education, and take care of yourself. Okay, boys? That's for you. Don't have fear. Get an education, take care of yourself, boys. Because then you can take care of other people when you do that. Okay, now remember, lie is an intransitive verb. That means it does not take a direct object. Lay is a transitive verb. It means it takes a direct object. Lie means you're remaining, you're resting, it's a direction. Lay is a burden. All right, everybody, I hope that was really helpful, and we will see you in the next lesson. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Bye.